Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Once again, working on my 2006 F-150. We're going over the IWE system to help you guys troubleshoot and solve your own problems. If you watched the previous two videos on this series, I talked about the theory behind how the system works. And then we did a vacuum check at the switch solenoid and did the power ground check. Now, this is the check to see if your hubs are indeed faulty. We're going to check for vacuum at both hubs like we did on the last video, but it's all part of the troubleshoot experience. We're going to need two tools for this one, a vacuum gauge and a vacuum pump. Let's get started. I got the tire off for some access. So now let's go over and I'll explain to you how this works. So on the back, you can see your vacuum hub right here. These are your vacuum lines that come down to it, and over time these vacuum lines get brittle, and then that line you see follows up and into the frame. So your issues are probably most likely a leak from this vacuum. Now I'm going to get into this more in depth, but how the hubs work with the engine off, your hubs are locked because the vacuum hub has a spring. So when no vacuum's applied, the spring is released. So you can see the half shaft turns. So once the vehicle starts in two-wheel drive, if the hub's working properly, the vacuum will hold that spring in and the hub should spin freely. First thing I'm gonna do, get a little light on there. You're gonna see the vacuum lines right there. I just pulled those off. Got my vacuum pump right here. I'm going to install my vacuum on the larger tube, just like that. And then I am going to apply about 10 inches of vacuum. And we're just going to let it sit for a little bit and see if... So now what you want to do is you want to rotate the hub. As you're spinning the hub while you got vacuum on it, you want to see if it's bleeding off. Spin it backwards. If you find the hub is bleeding off vacuum when you're spinning it, you know you have an issue. I still got about 10 inches of vacuum. No problem spinning it. And right off the bat, we can tell that the half shaft is not turning. That means the hub is working as it should. Watch right now. I bleed the vacuum off this side. Once there's no more vacuum, that half shaft shall turn. There we go. We verified the vacuum hub on this side's working. Let's do the other side. First off, half shaft turns. That's a good sign. That means the spring is engaged. Let's apply some vacuum. As you see, I am connected. "10 inches of vacuum. Let's let it sit for a little bit, see if it holds. Alright, we're still holding. Let's rotate this. Once we're spinning it, right, I'm turning it, that half shaft is not turning. It means the hub is working as it should. Forwards and backwards, turning it, not losing vacuum. We are doing good. The purpose of this test for the people who are experiencing the grinding, you are experiencing the banging, the feeling of the axle engaging, disengaging. It can be very violent. Now, applying vacuum to the hub to make sure that the half shaft doesn't turn. When no vacuum is applied, the half shaft should turn because the spring in the vacuum hub is relaxed then and then engages the hub. Once the engine's running in two-wheel drive, vacuum's applied and the spring is pulled back. That's how the two-wheel drive function works. Now, going into the theory, If the vacuum hub was bleeding vacuum off when I was spinning the hub, the vacuum could drop down low enough that could cause the problem to engage, disengage that you're seeing. So if you have a vacuum gauge and you can apply the vacuum and the vacuum doesn't drop off, there's a good chance that that hub is still good. However, there's other issues that could come into play. If you have a very worn suspension, like a very bad ball joint or something, you know, if it's wobbling really bad, it could cause a vacuum leak right there too. It doesn't necessarily mean that your vacuum hub is bad. It could be other things involved. However, this kind of gives you an idea, the theory behind how it works, and you can troubleshoot. So next thing I want to do is I want to start up the vehicle, and we should have at least 10 inches of vacuum on lines at both hubs. If we don't have that, we got some issues. All right, let's test. Start her up. Make sure it's in two-wheel drive, because if it's not, we're not gonna have vacuum. All right, gonna plug in my vacuum. So I want to point this out. So I got about 7 inches of vacuum. That's no good, right? And I just did this to show a leak. So I'm gonna come over here because I got this line off, right? To show a vacuum leak. So I'm gonna plug this in, plugged her back in. Camera is still rolling. We're gonna go back over here and I should have more than 10 inches of vacuum, right? Plug it in. Man, I'm like 16 inches of vacuum. So we verified this hub is good. I showed you how a leak works. Now, one of the things you wanna probably do if you have low vacuum, for example, is start moving this line around. This line moves quite a bit when you're driving. So if you're wiggling it, check your vacuum, right? See if your vacuum bleeds off. So I'm on the opposite side. The vacuum's a little less, but we gotta have at least 10 inches of vacuum. Same thing, I'm gonna wiggle the lines, right? If you suspect that you have a faulty vacuum line, if you wiggle it, it should cause it to bleed off. So it's looking good. All right, what did we learn from that exercise? You need to have at least 10 inches of vacuum for it to work properly. I went through with the other line disconnected to show you the vacuum drop, and then once I plugged it back in, you saw the vacuum go up. That's how that system works. If there is an abrasion or the line is damaged somewhere along the line, you're gonna have that vacuum leak. That's why I recommended, if you have your vacuum gauge on it, to wiggle the lines, because statically when it's sitting there, it may not leak. But if you wiggle the lines, because you got to remember, when your tires turn, those hoses are turning too. So wiggle the lines. If you see a vacuum drop off, you know you got a leak. Absolutely. We tested the vacuum hubs. They are testing good. And I hope this video series helped you out. If you want me to go more in depth, or if you have any other things you want to learn about your F-150, leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.